Hello, my name's Judy Byrne. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how to tap with pain. One of the first things that I think it's useful to do is to describe to yourself exactly what you're feeling with pain. So not anything as general as this pain in my left leg, but more specific. For instance, is it a stabbing pain? Is it a throbbing pain? Is it a continuous pain? Is it a pain that comes and goes? Does it have a shape? Does it have a colour? It's not just in your left leg, is it in a particular bit of your left leg? So if you describe to yourself really accurately where it is, that's a good starting point. So let's say you're going to tap on something like this stabbing, triangular, deep pain in my left knee. Then you use that whole phrase in the setup, and the point of doing that is that it really takes your attention to what it is that you want to deal with. Now, what often happens, and before you start, calibrate 1 to 10, how strong is that pain? What will happen after a round of tapping, so you do 3 setups, even though I have this and describe it, this stabbing black triangular pain in my left knee, I deeply and completely accept myself. 3 times on the karate chop, then you go around doing the reminder phrase of the description of the pain twice, recalibrate it and check where it is, because sometimes the intensity will go down, sometimes the location will change, and sometimes the type of pain will change. Any of those things are quite likely to happen. So then you want to re-describe it, re-describe the location, re-describe the type of pain that it is, and keep following it if it keeps moving around the body. In EFT it's called chasing the pain. And keep following it, keep re-describing it, keep tapping on the new description until it either goes to 0, great, job done, or it gets to a point where it's not shifting. And at that point, you might want to ask yourself, well, what's underlying this? What else is going on? If I knew what this pain was about, what might it be? And of course, you'll probably say to yourself, I don't know. Guess. Guessing is asking your unconscious mind to tell you. So it may be at that point that you want to guess what the emotional issue is and shift to tapping on that. But another thing that will often happen quite spontaneously is that you will go from one place to another, and then what will come up when you finish a round of tapping will be something emotional anyway. EFT has a wonderful way of leading us where we need to go. So you can start with something that's a physical pain and find that it has led you to an emotional issue. And there's no right or wrong about this. If you start with pain and you get rid of the pain, that's great. But if you start with pain and it leads you into something emotional, that's a really useful thing to do as well. So chasing the pain, following it where it wants to go, following it to whatever it takes you to, and then if you're really stuck, looking for something underlying, if you can find something that you guess is underlying it, that's really good. The other option is, what emotion do you have about having this pain? And sometimes that can be a really useful way to take the tapping. So you feel angry about having it, great, tap on the anger. Another possible approach with physical pain is, for how long have you had it? What else was going on at the time it started? Now, I'm not talking now about something that you've only had for a day or two, or that you have at the beginning of an EFT session. Sometimes our unconscious minds will come up with something to give us a starting point. But if you said something like, I've got a pain in my left shoulder and I've had it ever since I had an accident in a car 5 years ago, then going to that accident in the car 5 years ago and dealing with the memory of that will very often just relieve that pain immediately. So I hope you'll find some useful ideas there for how you can tap on physical pain.